Why are you the best candidate to fill this seat?
Oh, well, I'm the best candidate to fill the seat because I am a businessman. I'm a builder. I am a individual who has fought all the way to the United States Supreme Court. I'm a fighter. And in this climate today, you need to send a fighter to Washington, somebody to bring resources back to this community. I am not a career politician under no circumstances, don't claim to be, but I have created businesses here in South Florida. I have developed young people, created multimillionaires, built parks. My name is on streets, it's on stadiums, and I think I'm more qualified to go to Washington to continue doing my community service work that I've always done in this community for years.
Great. Moving on to the next one. The seat has been led by a Black lawmaker for the last 34 years. What role do you think that plays in the election?
Excuse me?
Sorry, I said that the seat has been led by a Black lawmaker for the last 34 years. What role do you think that plays in this election?
What role that plays in this election is very important for it to continuously be a seat that held by African American. When you look at this district, it's 54% African Americans, it's 20% white Americans, it's 15% Hispanics. When you break down the numbers of who's actually voting, the predominant number is African Americans in this district. And let me just say this, there is no other person other than myself that can go into this district and do the work that needs to be done for the people to bring the resources back to this community, other than just, doing your regular career politician deal of making money, for your personal gain and your personal businesses, making money off of insider trading. My job is to go to Washington and bring the resources back by expanding the port, building affordable housing, doing things like that, creating opportunities for small businesses to thrive in this district because there's so many of them that need so much help. And then, go in Washington and protect, fight for Medicare and Medicaid to protect seniors. We look at the high cost of insurance in the state. I can create subsidies to be able to help some of these seniors with the high cost of insurance. These are things that you can bring back. My plan calls for expanding the port. That's $5 billion that's in an infrastructure bill sitting there, trillions of dollars of money that we're not using. My plan calls for $250 million entertainment tax credit, as well as bringing in, $250 million in funds to bring in a federal tax credit that'll give companies like Hulu and Netflix and all these companies the opportunity to come down here and employ people within the district by giving them a tax credit. If they hire folks from Congressional District 20, my plan is different than everybody. It's about really bringing bringing more economics within the district because of the high cost of living. When you look at it, when you look at the high cost of living, you got gas going up, you got groceries going up, you got the cost of living out the roof. But at the same time, there is no more new jobs that are being created. You expand the port, that's thousands of good jobs. You do through my Built by Us, for Us affordable housing plan, that's built by the community for the community and not built by a person from Alligator Alcatraz for someone else to take the money outside of the community and the community suffers. And those are the things that I bring. I bring a common sense approach to this. That's why I don't take any special interest groups' money. I will not do that. And that's why I have the lowest amount of money, but more popular than any one of these candidates in this race. I have a vision, and my vision is clear. It's about bringing the resources back to Congressional District 20, and that's what I'll do.
You touched on quite a few issues there, but if there was one issue that you could fix tomorrow in the district, what would it be?
That's a good question, because Tamarack, with a good storm, they will have a water issue. Lauderhill Lakes, they have different issues. Pompano have different issues than North Lauderdale. And so if there was one it would be affordable housing through my Built by Us for Us program, because by building affordable housing by the people of Congressional District 20, that will create more jobs, plus housing for people who are right now being displaced or living in faulty housing, and not the regular gentrification program like you've seen they've done in so many other areas, whether it was East Lake in Atlanta or whether it was the Pork and Beans in Miami, where they built these so-called affordable houses, but it wasn't built for the people of the community. They displaced these people, and what ended up happening is they could not come back because the developer created a program that the folks who are trying to come back were not able to meet the necessary, to meet the second, have the necessary documents to get back in their own homes, and that's why my plan says Built by Us for Us, and that would be the first thing that I would do, make living better in Congressional District 20, Broward County.
If you could pick top 3 issues that are facing residents in the district, what specific actions would you take to address those in your first year?
In my first year, the top 3 issues, like I say, is affordability, the high cost of living. We have seniors that are hurting. They're trying to decide whether or not they're going to pay for prescription drugs. Are they going to pay for the necessary groceries? You got seniors now going to get jobs at Publix. That shouldn't be. They're the people. They're the backbone of this country, and they paved the way. They did the work to be able to comfortably retire. They're facing high property taxes, and they're also facing high insurance. So with all of that, that is putting them back to work. So I would bring at least $250 million back to solve one of the problems of high cost of insurance, as well as fight for Medicare and Medicaid. That's number one. Number two, again, affordable housing. We have a shortfall of 150,000 houses, in the state of Florida, and a large part of them are in this district. And so people need a place to stay. But at the end of the day, my third thing would be creating jobs, and creating jobs through my port expansion, through my Built by Us for Us program, as well as my entertainment tax credit, as well as a tax credit, as well as bringing those funds back into the district. People need to be able to afford to live here in South Florida. This place is getting unaffordable. At the end of the day, only person who's going to be able to afford to live here is those gazillionaires, the Elon Musk, the Bezos, and all the world. At the end of the day, all of us, me, you, and the good people of Broward County are not going to be able to afford it, to live here. And so if you do not create jobs and great opportunity so people can be able to stay here, then we all will be erased and moving somewhere else.
Great. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, that's it.